Okay, if you want to, you can.
No, it keeps saying you can't start your video. The host has stopped it.
Okay, then I can see we have quite a lot of attendees joining in. Welcome, everybody. So, one of the attendees, can you please just confirm really quickly whether you can hear us, see our video, and of course, see our screen? Yes, all right. Thank you, Srilakshmi, for this. All right. So in this case, we can get started right on time. So really punctual of you all to join in right on time. So a bit of housekeeping before we actually begin. Firstly, everyone, welcome to today's webinar. Before we actually get started, just make sure that you're able to see my screen at all times. In case at any point of time you're not able to, feel free to drop me a message on the chat box and I'll just see what is, a bit wrong, because, technology can be a bit unexpected sometimes. If in case you're facing any issues, you can just exit the meeting and then rejoin. And in that case, I think so on that note, we can get started. So this is about virtual internship, and I welcome you all for, this particular webinar. And thank you for giving us a bit of time from your evening. I know there would be a lot of you who are here coming in right after work. So thank you firstly for giving your valuable time to us. And this webinar is basically, as you can see it on the screen, is about how do you get that kickstart in your career with virtual internship. Now, with me over here, I have Heather, and I also be having on the call Sadia. So before we actually get into and dive into the details about this program and for what you all are here, a bit of an introduction about me. My name is Filza Fatima. Some of you may know me as Fidda Fatima. So it's basically same person, same name, just a different pronunciation. I am actually an employability program manager at Kaplan Professional Middle East. And as a part of that as well, I'm also a trainer for our exam prep vertical. I myself am an ACC qualified, and I work within, the ACC team over here, and I deal with a lot of students in terms of, their career aspirations, and of course, to be very specific in terms of their employability part. Then we have with us Heather, who is joining us from Virtual Internship and brings on the table 10 years of experience of dealing with students and improving their employability. So thank you, Heather, for joining us today. And I'm sure you'll be enlightening us with all the knowledge that we all need for virtual internship.
Thank you, Fizza. Thank you for having me.
All right. And we also have with us Sadia Iftikhar, who happens to be one of our students. And she is a student who has not only done ACCA or is still doing ACCA with us, but she has also gone through this virtual internship experience. And towards this particular webinar, she will be sharing with us how has her experience been being a part of a virtual internship program. So thank you, Sadia, for joining us. And I'm sure all the students are very eagerly waiting to hear from you what your experiences has to, share with us in terms of your experience of having to do virtual internship. Now, so we are getting on with the first and foremost important question that's there. What is the importance of internship in early career? Now, joining us on the call, I can see that there are a lot of students. Some of you are CMA students, some of you are ACCA students. So when I talk about the importance of internship early in the career, I basically mean that it is the stepping stone towards the next part of your career. So, of course, it's start to everything. And to have a professional career, it's very important that when you're doing a professional qualification, you're just not studying. It's just not the academics. You also should be getting the chance and you should be applying your knowledge in practical scenarios. And when I say practical scenarios, I mean actually doing the work. So just by knowing IFRS 9 won't be enough for you. Just by knowing, okay, fine, investment appraisal is done like this, that's not enough. In the world out there, the corporate world out there, you need to apply your knowledge. And that's where internships are really helpful, because that's where you start seeing that it is a bit different than what's mentioned in the books. It's not the same. It's not all yes or no. There are some maybe areas as well. There's some gray areas too, and that's how you develop skills. So internship, of course, early in the career is important because you get to apply your knowledge, your academics into an actual business, environment. And then when you're doing that, you gain some really crucial skills. So these could be soft skills, these could be technical skills. I remember my first job, and I was, of course, very excited, but you have this fantasy in your head that yes, as soon as I'm done with my qualification or when I'm doing my qualification, I'm gonna be doing all this, just like how they show in that in a particular movie or something. Okay, fine, Wall Street. But trust me on it, it gets really intense when you're actually there. It's not as you are fantasizing it to be. It's not easy to be earning money. Let's be honest in that case. But when you are there in the real world, you get to know that it's not how it's always there in the book. Sometimes a book would show you something very simplified. But when it comes to reality, it would be more complex than what it seems. And through internships and through work experience, you gain a crucial skills like problem solving. And problem solving, you cannot get by just studying. You need to apply your knowledge and you need to start working. So work experience gives you that. And the final thing on this one is basically, you all are professional qualification students over here, CMA, ACCA, you all have a practical experience requirement to meet for your qualification. So an internship, is actually helping you towards, meeting the practical experience requirement of your particular professional body or the qualification that you're doing. And that's pretty much it from my end in terms of course, the discussion is very long over here, but I would want to give the stage to Heather as well to give her input, because she's been dealing with a lot of students when it comes to, their employabilities too.
Thank you, Fizza. Okay, so if we can go to the next slide. So thank you. So we know that internships play an important role in graduate employability because the research shows that companies who are looking to recruit graduates are valuing internship experience ahead of some other attributes that we would have thought would have been greater significance, such as college major, your college GPA, your college reputation. But internships are coming up as being significantly important. And this shows also in the fact that students who've undertaken an internship are 14% more likely to be invited to an interview and receive 16% more job offers on the back of that. So to take you to the next slide, want to look at what you stand to gain from completing a virtual internship. So the first most obvious one is gaining work experience. Anyone who's in a position to be looking for work at the moment will know that job specifications typically are, they always are asking what your work experience is, what experience you have of, intercultural communication or time management or teamwork or leadership. And if you've been in full-time education, as you're likely to have been, you don't necessarily have the experience to draw on to talk about those things. So by starting a virtual internship, you're going to be building your professional communication skills. You're going to be learning how to receive feedback from your employer, how to respond to that feedback, how to build on any shortcomings, any areas that you need to develop professionally. And through that, you're also going to be developing confidence and begin to understand your value and what you're good at, what you can bring to a company. And all of that you're going to put into your CV and into your job applications. And when you get to interview stage, you're going to have concrete examples of experience that you have that you can bring to that company. Next, thank you. So the next thing is the future of work. So I think we all thought during COVID, we swiveled and moved into remote working, and that may have seemed temporary. But actually, 90% of HR leaders have said that they trust their employees to work from home, and 75% believe that employees are as productive working from home. And obviously, there are numerous benefits to remote working. In terms of the infrastructural costs, the environmental impact, what it does for staff well-being and having more of a work-life balance. So everything suggests that, you know, it's here to stay. So doing a virtual internship will help you to start to develop the discipline and the skills required for remote working. Next slide, thank you. So virtual internships guarantees a placement, and we have over 7,000 students have completed internships with us. So it's not a competitive process. We work with over 12,000 companies globally, and we're able to match each student based on their background and their interests. So we have access to a massive resource there to support you to get an internship that will bring you what you need. Thank you. Next slide. And then it's about translating the skills that you learn through your virtual internship. 78% of our alumni have said that it's increased their confidence. And when you're applying for jobs and going to interviews, confidence is going to be so important to you securing your first job. And sorry, I was going to sneeze then. It's going to be so important to you securing your first job. So, and we do a lot of work with you to reflect on what you've learned, what skills you've developed, and how to demonstrate that through storytelling in interview situations. So international experience as well. In today's commercial world, it's obviously imperative that we are able to work cross-culturally and that we build those communication skills and we understand work culture in different settings. And virtual internships can give students the opportunity to develop those cross-cultural communication skills. If any of you have an interest in working overseas as well and moving around, you're starting to build an international network, and adding to your LinkedIn profile. These are important contacts that you may be able to draw on in future. And then the crucial soft skills. So 91% of employers agree that a job candidate's capacity to think critically, to solve complex problems and communicate clearly. These are all the soft skills that sort of demonstrate the skills gap sometimes between completing your graduation, your academic side, as Fizza was saying, and having the skills to go and work in a team and contribute to their work. So if we move to the next slide, you can see that we have these 8 career readiness competencies, and through your project placement plan, which is agreed between Virtual Internships and your host company, we are embedding these skills and helping you develop in those areas. And we also have award-winning curriculum, which sits alongside the virtual internships. So that will prepare you for the start of your internship. It will have sessions that run during your internship and at the end of your internship. but reflection on what you've learned, what skills you've gained, and how you're going to communicate that in future job applications and interviews. So now to come to the specific outcomes. So 1 in 4 of our participants are offered to extend their work with their host company. So that may be an extension to their internship or part-time or full-time work. And 1 in 10 participants are offered paid roles within their specific host company. Over to the right here, 81% of,
Sorry, technology.
81% of interns who, when they complete the program, because we have interns who are at all stages of their educational journey, but for those who are at the end of their degree and are seeking work, 81% who are surveyed after they complete their internship report being in full-time positions. And what I think is very impressive is that 20% of active job seekers are employed full-time within 2 weeks of completing the program. So you can see how the virtual internship has contributed to sort of quick return with securing their employment. And here are just a few examples of students. So we have Yara at the top here and Hangzi at the bottom, who have, through their internship, have quickly secured employment with a different company, and Sarah in the middle here, who was taken on by her host company. And we have numerous examples of students who've benefited from that journey. So now to just talk to you a little bit about the program support that comes from virtual internships. So as part of our standard program, each student has a dedicated intern experience manager who you might think of as your mentor. You have a host company supervisor who is obviously delivering you the work and sort of giving you feedback. But for any sort of troubleshooting, say we have a student who's facing issues with time management or working across time zones, or has a specific issue such as timetabling, that's where your intern experience manager is going to offer you personalized support, can sort of recommend resources and talk through issues with you. You also have an assigned internship coach. This is a really popular feature of the program. So a qualified career coach will meet with each student midpoint through their internship and at the end. At the midpoint, you'll be looking at sort of what work you've done so far, what your skill gain is, and tracking that and making sure you're really reflecting on what you've achieved. And if you've identified any things that in particular that you struggle with, they will be working with you to come up with an action plan to, how can we build your confidence in public speaking or putting forward your ideas in meetings, things like that. And how to make the most out of the second half of your internship. And then come at the end of your program, your coach is going to help you produce like a career management plan, looking at short-term, mid-term and long-term goals to get you where you want to be career-wise, get you to think about your network and the resources readily available to you and how you can draw on those, and generally make sure that you're set up with with your online profile like LinkedIn and ready to make the most out of the experience. Career Bridge, as I mentioned just a minute ago, is our professional hub, and this is the curriculum which accompanies you throughout your internship. It's a combination of theory and case studies and interactive exercises to get you thinking about different work scenarios, how you would respond, and that sort of thing. The weekly group discussions, these are where we have a forum for all of the interns to communicate with each other. We often find that it's the people that we work with on our own level, as opposed to those who are senior to us, who we do most of our idea sharing with, and come up with process. So through the weekly group discussions, you'll have the opportunity to meet with other interns, share your experiences and troubleshooting. And then the employability webinar. So fortnightly, we have experts delivering webinars. It will be about industry-specific activity, or it could be more general about how to succeed as a remote worker, how to be a successful networker. So a combination of generic and specific sessions with industry experts. Again, so just mentioned Career Bridge. So it is essentially for the standard program, 10 to 12 hours of curriculum. And the introductory session will help you prepare pre-internship, get you thinking about your goals, what you want to achieve. It will help you sort of prepare for your internship by familiarizing yourself with the company, thinking about company culture, looking at the communication tools, because obviously this is a virtual internship, so each company is going to use different tools, so it gets you familiarized with those, and just generally thinking about what your schedule will be like. During the internship, the sessions are going to be sort of more reflective on career management, and the more of the soft skills, so the communication type of thing. And then at the end, you're going to be reflecting back on what you've achieved, and much like the coaching call, you're identifying next steps for your own personal development. And at the end of the program, what you receive is a report which includes your supervisor's evaluation. So your host company supervisor will have reviewed your skills at the start of your internship and at the end. You yourself will evaluate your skills pre and post internship and reflect on where you've particularly gained, and identify areas for further development. For those students who complete the Career Bridge curriculum, which is about 50 courses, up to 12 hours. You'll also get a completion report for that. And your global career management plan, which, as I said, you do write with your careers coach, identifying where you want to go and how you're going to get there. For those students who had a successful internship, obviously you can rely on your host company supervisor for a reference. So again, when you come to apply for jobs and they ask for references, you've got a reference you can rely on there. And as you can see on the right-hand side here, a certificate of completion, which details where you interned, your hours of internship and the dates and what you achieved through that.
So very interesting in terms of, what an internship can give you. So if I see it in this way, it's more than an internship, basically. It's just you're not just given a project to work on or a task to work on, or you're not, just given a work. You are, having a 360-degree professional development as you are progressing in your internship, by gaining not only technical skills or applying your knowledge, but also about some soft skills as well. And let's be honest, in the real world out there, you won't see managers giving you that one-on-one time, but over here there is a designated manager, an experienced manager who would be with you and, through your journey of doing this internship. So if I see it in this way, from a student's point of view, definitely it is very value adding, but that's not for me to say. It's better that we put it on a student over here to, give their input on this. So when we had this partnership with Virtual Internship, our first thing was to ensure that a student would be satisfied with this experience or not. And yes, so our first step was to put a student into the picture, because again, we being students over here trust other students, right? So considering that, we had Sadia over here, who is, as I mentioned earlier, is a currently enrolled ACCS student. She had gone through this virtual internship experience, And I would just do the leave the talking to Sadia now, because she will tell us in terms of how it was from the very beginning, and to till the end, her experience of doing this virtual internship. Sadia, I hope you're on the call.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
fine. Sadia, over to you.
Hi, everyone. I hope you're having a good evening. Actually, when I got a call from Fiza saying that they're going to give me an opportunity with virtual internship, I thought, yeah, I should give it a try because I didn't have any previous experience, and I was a part of Achievers program, and I had taken interviews with different firms, and that's when I realized that having an experience adds value to your CV. So when I took up virtual internships, I had to fill up a form, which is actually like LinkedIn. Like you add up your details, your education, and your previous experiences if you had any, and what you want from what do you expect from your internship, and based on that, I got uh, I got a match with one of the companies. It was rental construction for me. So during the interview, I could connect with my supervisor, know what he expects from me, and when I finalized that I'm going to work for this company, on our first day, he gave us training. Like he gave me training on how to, like handle this work and how to use the platform. I had to use CRM systems. So this was one of the main reasons why I chose this company. So actually, because this company is based in Canada and I'm in Oman here, so there's a 8 hours difference. So in order to cope up with this time gap, he decided to train me on the very first day, and then I could manage my work whenever I am free. So I used to work based on my productivity levels because I also joined OBU mentoring classes. So I had to manage those classes and prepare the project report as well as do the internship. And I had to work 30 hours a week. So because I had time flexibility, I could manage both of them at the same time. And one thing I definitely appreciate about virtual internships is the coach calls, because this is your first experience when you're entering into a corporate world. So you really need that guidance. You need to have an insight of what exactly you expect. And by having a friendly discussion with your coach, she questions you and we answer them. It's basically like that. And that's when you realize what exactly you want and where you want to see yourself in the next 5 years. And based on that, she comes up with a career management plan. And if you follow it properly, you will definitely secure a next internship or a next job. So I really find that very helpful because I know what steps I need to take to meet my future goals. So yeah, overall, this experience was amazing. I'm really thankful to Fida, Kaplan, and Virtual Internships, for giving me this opportunity to, take this, internship with a company based abroad, of course, but it really added value to my CV, and I'm able to stand out when it comes to taking up other internships also. And when I applied for a proper job, they said that, okay, it's, I can join, but it's better if I complete my ACCA profession. So they're waiting for me to complete the papers and then I can just be a part of their firm. Inshallah. So, it's a great thing.
All right,
Yeah.
that's absolutely great, actually, to know about your journey. And I'm sure not only, virtual internship, but everyone at Kaplan over here are always looking forward for our students' success in their professional journey. So really happy to hear that, Sadia. And trust me, guys who are there online, uh, a lot of things I'm hearing for the first time, and she's right now itself. So I didn't know about that she's going to be talking all this. So just for the record. So thank you, Sadia, for giving us more insights of how it feels from a student's point of view. Because trust me, if I just look at this and if I go back when I was doing ACCA, I would definitely would want something like this. And I'm just not saying that because we're doing this webinar, but definitely looking at in an overall view, it gives you more value than just merely an internship. So, and it's good to see that a student actually is feeling that. Now, in terms of Kaplan's point of view, well, again, as you know, we have an exclusive partnership with Virtual Internship, and we have inbuilt this virtual internship within our ACCA program and our CMA program. So basically, once you enroll with us, you can, have be a part of a program which includes virtual internship. Now, about Kaplan itself, so as most of you would be already knowing, because I can see some names and some of these names are already enrolled students. So you would already know that we are an ACCA approved content provider, and we are a part of Kaplan Financial UK. That's one thing. Another thing is in terms of CMA, we are IMA approved platinum providers. And just not that, in terms of our classroom training, we are very flexible in our training approach. So you can join us online or you can join us face to face. Like as Sadia said over here, she's based in Oman and she was a full-time online student. But we made sure that even though if someone is online, they get the same sort of experience as a face-to-face student would, through making our classes very interactive, our student support, through WhatsApp, and of course, making sure that they feel that as if they're there in the class. And we have had a lot of success stories in terms of prize winners, affiliates. So Saad is one of our future affiliates and graduate. But other than that, we always make sure we are there out there for our students in terms of support. And of course, during training, we give a lot of support to our students academically, but this is also our way by bringing employability programs like virtual internship to support our students, not only academically, but also, professionally in their professional journey as well. You would have, known, if you are following us on our social media pages, you would have known about our other employability program, which is our ACC Achievers program, a CMA Excellence program. So that is also a part of our mission of helping students be successful in their professional journey. However, as a part of our Achievers program, even though we have recruiters coming in, we are guaranteeing the interview, but we are not guaranteeing the placement. That is something that virtual internship program is guaranteeing you. You're guaranteed a placement. So this is basically our way of ensuring that our students are not, successful academically, but they're successful professionally as well. And just to give you a bit of insights in, if you're really interested in joining us, so these are us, just for your note, our start dates. So CMA Part 1, CMA Part 2 start dates, and even in Abu Dhabi, we do CMA classes. So those are the start dates. And in terms of ACCA, we've already started our ACCA classes. So our classes started from 18th of September. But even if you would want to, enroll in our classes right now, it's okay if you have missed some classes. Our classes are recorded. So you can always catch up, and our trainers are super supportive. We're always available for you, either through WhatsApp, or you would want to come here, drop by, have a quick one-on-one session. We are always available for you. So in terms of, those of you who may not already be ACCA registered in our ACCA, are planning to do ACCA or planning to do CMA, for example, and maybe our school students. So for you, there is a complimentary consultation, a free consultation that we can have. So I am one of the trainers, and I am basically the person who manages our FIE courses. And as I mentioned, you already have been a professional qualification student. So I completely understand the struggles a professional qualification student would go through. And if in case you're interested and if you want more guidance and you're a school student in terms of how you can start a professional career, then you can meet me on 25th of September, which is a Sunday, between 5 to 6 p.m. And I will be more than happy to give you further guidance in terms of, your professional journey. But other than that, if you want to bring in your parents as well, more than welcome to. This is a form over here which you can fill in to reserve your slot for this particular complimentary consultation session. I will put this form link on the chat box so you can pick it up from there. But basically, that's it from our end. So over to all of you, all right, to flood our chat box with all the questions you may have, and we are more than happy to answer any questions you would be having. So feel free to put it on the chat box or just raise your hand so that I can unmute you. Okay, so let me just open the chat box. All right, so I have one question from Aisha Zia. Is there a Kaplan Institute in Abu Dhabi? Yes, so we do have a branch in Abu Dhabi as well. Currently over there, we are running our CFA and CMA classes. Okay. Any more questions, guys? So for ACCA, I'd have to offer online classes. Yes. Currently, we are not running ACCA in our Abu Dhabi branch. Hopefully, in the future, we do plan to do that. But for now, our plans are just face-to-face classes in our Dubai branch. Yes, but you can join in online if you want to. How can I enroll for a virtual internship? I'm an ACC student. Or that's good, Sohani. You can reach out to our program advisor here. So let me just move it ahead. So I have put in one of my program advisor's name, that is Monisola. So you can reach out to her, you can drop her a line, and I can pick up your name as well, and I can ask my team to get in touch with you once the webinar, after this webinar, so that they can give you further details about the virtual internship program. Okay. Virtual internships can be taken alone without enrolling in Kaplan, as I'm already taking classes for ACCA. All right, Fatima. So, well, the thing is, the whole idea about having this virtual internship program is to include within your ACCA journey. So, yes, you need to be an enrolled student to have the virtual internship program. But even if you're already enrolled for ACCA, so maybe you could, opt in for our next session. So it's for our next ACCA classes that are going to be there for March 2023. So you can include virtual internship within that, even if you're already opted in for classes for December 2023 from somewhere else. Sorry, I meant 2022, December. I'm an ACCA affiliate. How can I enroll? So in that case, we can offer you the virtual internship program by looking into how we can work around things in case you're an ACCA affiliate. As I said to Fatima as well, you need to be currently enrolled with us with the ACCA program or, of course, the CMA program. However, we can definitely look into the chances and possibility of, Sri Lakshmi, for you helping you getting into the virtual internship program. Okay, Aisha is asking, if I'm an online student and I enroll with Kaplan, am I eligible for the virtual internship program or the ACC Achievers program? Yes, so regardless of whether you're an online student or you are a face-to-face student, virtual internship the virtual internship program is basically open to all our enrolled students. So it doesn't, all our enrolled classroom training students, they have access and they can, enroll on the virtual internship program, regardless of which study method you use. I'm currently enrolled for the VAT diploma. All right, that's good. So this is something I can, of course, take it with my team on this. And when you're reaching out to Monisula, we will do our best to further guide you in terms of how we can help you in terms of getting into this program. Okay, so we have a question over here. I am a CIMS student. Can I also get the opportunity for VI? Yes, definitely you can get an opportunity for VI, provided that you're either enrolled with us for the the ACC program or the CMA program. As I said, of course, to be eligible or to be to access this particular program, you of course need to be our currently enrolled student, because there's an entire package that we give you. So it's just not the ACCA qualification papers. It's just not the virtual internship. It's a bundle of everything, and of course there are some special add-ons as well, which of my program advisors can help you, understand what all are the special add-ons in this program. What is the difference between virtual internship program and the ACC Achievers program? By Aisha over here. Well, that's a really good question. So the virtual internship program is basically when you enroll with us, all right, you are enrolling in a virtual internship program package. So that's your ACCA papers and of course the virtual internship and some add-ons on that. And you then get access to guaranteed placements. So that is one thing. And these are, of course, as Heather already mentioned, you are having the opportunity to work in international companies. So over 12,000 companies are partnered up with virtual internship. So you get a chance to work in either of them remotely. However, the ACC Achievers program is basically once you enroll with us for 2 exam windows, you get access to behavior skills training, technical skills training, and a placement day. Now, the placement day, basically, which we call as the employability day, is just like a networking day. And where the recruiters come in and then you can interact with them. However, we are not guaranteeing placements in that. We're guaranteeing the interview, but we're not guaranteeing placements. And it's been seen that we have run about 3 cohorts for the ACC Achievers program. And in that cohort, not everyone gets placed. I'm being very honest in this case. And Sadia is one example, as what Sadia mentioned already. She was a part of the ACC Achievers program, but she couldn't get placed. She did not get any opportunity from any recruiter. And as she mentioned, the reason was very simple, okay, that she is still early in her professional journey. So in virtual internship program, you're guaranteed a placement. So you're guaranteed a placement regardless of where you are in your ACCA journey, regardless of, you have work experience already or not. So out there in the real world, now if you talk about, getting work experience, people, I know a lot of ACC students who are now ACC affiliates, they're still struggling to get a job. One reason is that they're struggling is that because on the CV, they do not have work experience. Second reason is they lack employability skills. So these 2 main reasons, and they're not able to find a job. Of course, then there are other reasons as well, like market condition, hiring freeze. So these are all the other reasons too, but the main 2 reasons are that they do not have work experience. And I do get this asked quite often that for entry level, why, how am I supposed to get a job even at entry level, or when they're asking us for 1 year of experience, recruiters out there? Well, that's why we have brought in the virtual internship program. This does not limit students, regardless of wherever they're located, even if they have 0 experience on their CV, they have no employability skills, but this is what the virtual internship program is. We are guaranteeing the placement to you. In ACC Achievers, we are not guaranteeing the placement. We're just guaranteeing the interview. So I hope that answers your question. You're most welcome, Aisha. All right. Do we have further questions on this? We have really good amount of time left, and I would be more than happy to answer any more questions. Do you have any questions specific to the virtual internship itself, or the virtual internship process? Any questions? Because we have Heather also over here. She is working within virtual internship, and she is the best person in terms of to talk about how things work. What is the cost of virtual internship program? Well, Mariam, it depends on which particular course that you're enrolling in, and like whether you're enrolling in ACCA or whether you're enrolling in CMA. That's one thing. And where exactly are you enrolling in? Like if you're, let's say, enrolling in your ACCA, in the ACCA qualification, so it will depend upon what package that you will be taking for as a part of your ACCA journey. So you're an ACCA affiliate. All right, so again, like Sri Lakshmi's case, we can also look into this, how we can work around it, because again, to be eligible for the virtual internship, access is basically you need to be a part of the virtual internship program. So, but even then, we can of course look into this if it is a possibility, in terms of having to give you the exposure of virtual internship. Okay, just quickly checking if in case someone has raised their hand to wish to talk. Okay, so virtual internship means no physical exposure. Everything's remote. Yes, so virtual internship basically is remote internship. And for me now, if I just look at it, yes, maybe 5 to 10 years back, a remote work was something which was a bit more alien for us, something really new. But now considering what turns the corporate world has taken after the pandemic, working remotely has become the new norm. And this is what Heather as well said, that a lot of HRs are now looking into the fact that the work is becoming more flexible, and a lot of us are working remotely. And trust me on this one, having to learn how to work remotely is an art in itself. So that is another good experience that you gain when you learn to work in a remote culture, because there are other experience that you're getting or skills that you're getting when you're doing a remote internship.
And that obviously gives the opportunity for it to be international. Aisha, if you've got any sort of aspirations to work in a different part of the world, when you put in your application, you can choose one of 3 sort of geographic locations and put them in order of priority. So, you might want to do your internship in Europe, or specifically in Canada or the US or Australia, depending on what your aspirations are. And you put that into your application, and we bear that in mind when we're placing each student. So, really think about what it is that you want to get out of the experience, and make the most of the fact that it's remote and that it can be anywhere in the world.
Yeah, and again, international experience without having to give the visa or ticket charges.
Or the airfare. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So and again, Heather, in this case, it really helps to you're the expert over here in terms of having to get international exposure from culture point of view as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's it. Having that opportunity to work with people all over the world, and bearing in mind a lot of these companies are multinationals. They might have their headquarters in one place and then offices all over the world. So yeah, really impressive exposure there, and something to draw on, as we've said, referenced throughout the presentation, the emphasis now on sort of understanding work culture, across countries, and breaking down language barriers and cultural barriers, and being able to work with people from all over is so valuable and so important to so many companies, because with globalization, we're working with people all over the world all of the time, and it's a really important skill. And it can't be underestimated how valuable that is to be able to put into your CV or talk about in an interview situation.
Yeah, that's really good. Again, this is what I'm telling students over here. I didn't have this opportunity during my time.
No.
Exactly. All right. That's again, as Aisha is telling, that sounds really amazing. That's good. Gopika has a question over here. Can I enroll for the virtual internship program being a CMA student at Kaplan? Yes. So CMA. So if you are booking on the CMA course, you can get the package with the virtual internship program as well. Okay, interesting set of questions.
Very. I've learned a few things about the CMA and the ACCA as well, so thank you.
You're more than welcome to join us for that. What's the cost? Okay, so from the cost point of view, I'll be very honest, I'm not the expert in this one in terms of the numbers bit over here. The expert person to reach out to would be Monisola, the program advisor that you can hire. You can see her contact details on the screen at the moment. She will help you with the cost, because again, to be very honest, it depends upon what your enrollment type is. Like where you like which one is it, like CMA part 1, CMA part 2, all right? So it depends upon that. And again, Monisula is the expert one in terms of that. So you can reach out to her. And in the meantime, what I will do is I'll put in the forms link over here in case anyone wants to come in, if anyone is a school student, and if in case you would like to come in for the free consultation. That just give me a second. I will like okay. So okay. And I'm also putting my contact details as well in case you want to reach out to me. So you can reach out to me too. Okay, and I'm putting in my LinkedIn profile too. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn after this webinar, feel free to drop me a line, connect with me. Okay. And the form links. Okay, so keep the question coming, guys. We are loving the whole interaction over here in terms of this particular program and your queries. That's what we are here for. We want to address all your queries that you have on this program. I can totally understand this is very new for our Middle East students in this case, and we are doing our best to ensure that our students are supported not only academically but also professionally too. I'm so sorry for that. Okay. Okay. And the yeah. Okay. So I'm putting back Moni's details in case someone hasn't taken them already. So here they are. Okay. So if we do not have any questions anymore, either we can wrap it up or okay, I don't know what's happening with my laptop at the moment because it's past 7. My laptop is also telling, you know what? You need to go home. You need to go back home. This is what my laptop is also telling me now.
An insight
like,
into an insight into the challenges of working remotely.
Exactly. Look, I don't have the skills of working remote. You can see that because I never got that opportunity. Would it be possible to send the recording of this session? So yes, I'll be checking with my team on this one, and they should be able to do something about with you having to get something after this particular webinar. You should be able to get an email with the recording if that could be possible from their end. Definitely something to raise with my ops team on that. Lalit has it. Is there a salary that the interns receive during the internship? So Heather, would you like to add on this?
Yeah, I'm afraid not, Lalit. They're non-paying virtual internships. I think because when we approach the host companies for to provide these internships, they accept that students will be coming with no formal experience, and on that basis there's no stipend or salary attached to them. But we hope, as the statistics suggest, that what you're coming out of it with is a strong reference and good work experience. And we hope that if you're looking for full-time employment, that you won't wait long once you've done your virtual internship.
Yes, and of course, again, that is something that our professional qualification students look into. And yeah, I know a lot of students are there, looking into to find whether it's a paid internship or not. But I'll be honest with you on this, Lalit. I know a lot of students who have qualified, ACCA and also CMA as well. It's not that the professional qualification does not have value. Professional qualification has a lot of value. but there's so much competition out there in the market. All right, when you have been asked about, your profile, and when you have zero experience on that CV, if it's a blank CV, getting a job is almost near impossible when you don't have any experience on that particular CV. And this is what the employers now want from you. They want someone who has employability skills and who has already some experience, at least who have worked like in the past work experience. Now, the question arises, if you don't hire me, how am I going to get that experience? So, but that is the reality of this market today, that they're asking for value from, their potential employees. And to bridge that gap, basically, that's why we have this virtual internship program. And as I said, it's more than an internship. It is more value adding. You're getting not only an internship experience, you're also getting soft skills, access to that career bridge where, you are able to understand your journey, where you stand in your soft skills, because a lot of us are so empathetic on our technical skills that we just neglect our soft skills, which are equally important as technical skills now. That's one thing. And another thing would be, as I mentioned, in the Achievers program, we have guaranteed interviews, but they're not guaranteed placements that are being offered in the Achievers program. And in that case, a lot of students come back to me and saying, oh yeah, we don't think so we'll be getting any position, or we'll be getting any opportunity in this particular role, because they're asking us that we need to have completed so and so papers of ACCA. Now, this internship program, even if you're still in school, all right, someone's still in school, they can still, start off this internship. How so? Because there are no academic requirements as such. There is no work experience requirement as such, which the real world out there, all right, takes so much of importance of. But over here, it is basically accessible to all. So regardless of where you are in your professional qualification journey, regardless of whether or not you have any work experience, or regardless of whether you have any employability skills or not. So it is more than just an internship. And as I said already, out there, well, it's very hard to get a paid internship anyway, especially, all the market conditions out there. And from Kaplan point of view as well, we have an agreement and, a partnership with Virtual Internship. And let me be honest with you, we are doing this particular program solely for students, to give them that experience. We are basically not making any money out of this, honestly, on that one, because we want to help our students, in their professional journey to be successful in their professional career. And this is basically a service provided by Virtual Internship to us, and we are paying on behalf of our students to Virtual Internship, basically. So it is basically more value adding than you could, ever imagine in terms of this program.
Think of it as an investment in your future.
Exactly. Not paid right now, but you will be making money in the future, and you can only make that once you get a paid role in this market.
I agree with that.
Yeah, exactly. Sadia is, I think, the best person to be answering whether it was worth it or not. So Sadia, I know you came back to me and said, I think it's a bit difficult for me because of I don't have any experience on my CV, and that is what is very concerning for me. I do remember your words when you said me that because I don't have any experience, how am I supposed to add experience on my CV? So I'm sure Sadia's experience can serve as an example for all of us that sometimes we need to be a bit more innovative in terms of our approach. And this is what we are trying to bring you from Kaplan. Okay, cool discussion, interesting.
I haven't actually had a chance to speak with Sadia, just to say congratulations. I know your internship went so well, and the feedback from your host company was phenomenal. So, congratulations on a job well done.
Thank you, Heather.
We're very proud of you at Virtual Internships.
And the good thing is, in terms of this, and now you could know between what Heather mentioned, that there is a report that's been given after your virtual internship. And that report is of very high value adding, because you come to know the fact that where you shortfall of in terms of skills and what you can make better in terms of having to move forward. And Heather, I'm sure you'll say how value adding that post-program report is, not only for us as partners, because we'll be getting that as well from you, but also
Yeah.
for students themselves.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you think that sort of 4 weeks prior to Sadia completing her internship, she didn't have any sort of concrete experience to talk about. Now she's come away, she's done 120 hours, she's sort of developed skills, she's got a reference, and she's got this certificate and the report which details what she's done in her internship, what skills she's gained. It's got references from herself and from her host company supervisor talking about where she's developed in particular, and then like a review of her skills, of those 8 core career readiness skills prior to starting and at conclusion, and then the same sort of reflection from her supervisor. I think after 4 weeks hard work, to give Sadia her due, but after those 4 weeks, the difference in what she can now write about in her job applications and talk about in her interviews, and then to share these sort of professional documents detailing her skill gain, I think is a massive win.
Yes, I honestly feel very confident after this.
Good, as you should.
And the good thing, and again, this is an actual internship, by the way, guys. It's not that you won't be making copies or printing stuff over here. So it's an actual value-adding internship, and you get to actually get hands-on experience. And since, of course, we are doing this for our professional qualifications students like CMA and ACCA, these are in the career fields of business and finance. And what work you do in that case is relevant work. So for ACC students, you can count this towards your practical experience requirement as well. So it will count towards that 36 months, because it is something that we do for, it's coming under business and the finance career fields of virtual internship. So that's another good thing. And again, Sadia was mentioning she was doing the Oxford Bruce University degree side by side to this particular program. And again, flexibility coming into the picture over there. You can flexibly manage your studies with a remote internship. So that is, of course, a very big advantage if I see from a full-time student's point of view. You don't have to slow down in the number of papers that you do. You don't have to skip a particular window or something just because it's very difficult for you to balance work and studies, because virtual internship makes things very flexible for you. So I can see a message from Lalit over here. I totally understand, and I'm very happy that there's virtual internship these days, which it was not there a decade or 2 ago. This is great program for students. Thank you so much for bringing in hope for the school and college students out there. You're most welcome. And yes, again, I never imagined like 10 years back that we would be having something such as remote internship and remote work. So it's a new thing, and the entire world is digitalizing. I just had to tell that word. I just thought that it's very important for us to understand that we just need to start learning how to take up and adapt the new norm.
Yeah, thank you for that feedback, Lala. It's really good to hear.
Okay. All right. So we're right on time. Okay, so if we do not have any further questions, then in that case, I am more than happy, to interact with you maybe after the session. If you need any further guidance, I've put in my email for pricing and all the details, schedules or something. You can reach out to my program advisor over here. But it was really good interacting with you. I'm sure Heather and Sadia would have enjoyed it as much as I did. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining. And thank you so much, Heather, for joining in and for giving insights. And from virtual internship point of view, thank you so much, Sadia, for joining and telling us about your experience being a virtual internship program student. And details are all there. Feel free to reach out to us. And I hope to see you guys in the campus over here, maybe in your CMA or ACCA classes. So from here, I'll say have a great evening, whatever is remaining of it. And looking forward to interacting with you all in the future really soon. Okay.
Thank you all.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for your time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.